Okay guys, so today we're going to be starting coloring our overlapping bands project, okay? So this is the demo I did with your class. This is the demo I did with my other class. Which one do you guys want me to color? This one? Okay, I'll color this one. So we need to talk about a couple of vocabulary words that you should already know, but we need to make sure that we're all on the same page here. So one is positive space. Positive space is the space in your artwork where there's actually like something going on, right? So in this case, it would be where I have bands. Those are the positive space, okay? So it's like what's actually happening, the object that is in the image. Then the negative space. So the negative space is basically like the background. It's where I don't have anything going on. So for this, it would be here. This is part of the background. 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 This, all this, and this. Now, for some of you with kind of complicated designs, when you were drawing it, I was encouraging you, what's the positive space? What's a negative space? What's a positive space? What's a negative space? You need to keep that straight in your head. It's very important, okay? And it will get a lot clearer after we start to color it. Then we need to talk about the color scheme. So everybody's going to be choosing a color scheme for their project. And a color scheme is basically the set of colors that you choose that you think look really good together that you're going to limit yourself to, okay? So what that means is I'm not just going to be using every color in my packet, okay? I'm going to be choosing 3 colors that I think look really nice together and I'm really happy with. They have nice contrast, but they go together well, and that will be my color scheme. Another word is gradation, which you guys should know really well because we use a lot of gradation with our last project with our tessellation. And so that is just when one color blends very evenly and smoothly into the next color. And then last but not least is craftsmanship. And that is that we want our work to look neat. We want it to be tidy. We want to take our time. We want to show that we took our time and that it looks like high schoolers' work, right? We're showing off our craftsmanship. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is the background. So I think that if you go ahead and color in the background or the negative space first, I think it will make all the steps a little bit more clear. So I'm going to choose a nice dark color for my background. I think I'm going to choose like this dark blue. Now, these are oil pastels, which you guys have not used before. They are similar to crayons in that they're a stick with color and a medium, but they're different because where crayons, the binder is the wax, with these, the binder is oil, so they're a lot softer, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So I'm going to start to color this with my oil pastel. Now, you can kind of press down lightly or you can press down harder. I kind of like to use a medium pressure, and you'll see that when you color it in, you don't get like a super clean look right away. When you're coloring it, you'll kind of see like streaks of the paper. So what you want to do is go back in with your finger and do this. And now if you're somebody who gets, weirded out by getting your finger a little bit dirty, you could use a little piece of paper towel to do this. Or you could use a Q-tip, especially for these little corners. You could blend that in with a Q-tip. And then you're just going to go back in. And you'll see how nice this looks once you start to blend it in. You get like this uniform look. You want to try to get your edges as crisp as possible. I know it's hard with the oil pastel to get the edges super, super crisp and clean, but just do your best and take your time. And so you're just going to keep going like that. So I'm not going to color the whole background because that would take forever for this demo. But what I recommend you doing for your very first step is just to color the entire background, your one color that you chose for the background, okay? Then when you're done with that, you're going to start to color your bands. And so I recommend choosing 2 colors for your bands. I'm going to choose this gold, and I think this pink is kind of pretty. I think these 3 colors look good together. So for your bands, what you want to remember is that where the band bumps up, you want it to look lighter, okay? So for instance, I'll focus on right here. This band is going to be going. It's going to bump up here because it's overlapping this one, right? So where it bumps up, we need it to get lighter. So I'm going to use my white to make it look like it's bumping up over this band, okay? So the first thing I'm going to, make sure your white's clean. I should have told you that first. You can do the white on another piece of paper. Make sure it's clean. And I'm going to go ahead and put this right here so that it looks like it's going to bump up. Now I'm going to go ahead with my yellow. And I'm going to color the whole band. And you don't have to use my colors. You can use the colors you want for your color scheme. And you can see where I'm hitting the white. Here we go. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So I'm going to start to blend this in. And you can blend it right over the white. And again, I'm going to try to be very careful on my edges so I don't go over the edges. I'm trying to keep my edges neat. I also want to be wary of this that I've already colored in. I don't want to smear it with my hand, right? So you do have to sort of be mindful of your whole body. If it helps you, you can put a scrap piece of paper over this so you don't accidentally rub it all in. And see how that looks like it's bumping up? I do have my streak from where my white wasn't clean, so learn from my mistakes. You can go back over it with another layer of the white. Or I could even try to use like a lighter yellow to help me with my gradation, because I want this to be a smooth blend where it looks like this is just going boom. Okay. And hang with me, I want to show you one more important thing and then I'll let you guys free to work on yours. Okay. The other important thing that you need to remember is when a band goes under, okay? So when a band goes over, obviously we're going to get that highlight where it bumps up. When a band goes under, what do you think we're going to have?
Dark.
Yeah, I'm going to have a darkness right here, like a shadow. So I'm going to be using this pink, but where I created darkness, I'm actually going to add a tiny bit of black here. So go very easy on the black. A little bit of black goes a long way, okay? So I'm just going to add a tiny bit right here and a tiny bit right here, because this band is supposed to look like it's going under the yellow.
Like a bridge?
Yeah, like a bridge, exactly. And this is like the underpass. Okay? And remember, if you get these little boogers on your paper, don't try to wipe them because they'll smear. Actually pick up your paper and do that. Okay? That's all part of good craftsmanship. You need to turn your paper so that your hand isn't going to smear it all. Turn your paper. And look, this is actually going to go under this one too, so I need a little bit of black here. See that? A little bit of black goes a long way. Don't go crazy with it. All right, now, here's how I'm going to blend it. I'm going to take my finger, try to make sure it's clean, and I'm going to blend from the black over. So I'm like dragging the black to the other side. Okay? So now it's starting to see the illusion. I'm going to do this side too. So I'm going to take the black, I'm going to pull it over. Take this black. All right, so now you can kind of see the illusion. And when you get your entire paper done, it will really, really start to pop. So everywhere that you go over, you want to highlight. So I'm going to have a highlight here, I'm going to have a highlight here, I'm going to have a highlight here and here. And have a highlight, a little bit of a highlight here, but a shadow here, right? Everywhere you go over, you want to highlight. Everywhere you go under, you want a shadow. And your background should be all one solid color. Is that clear? Okay, are there any questions?